The Mavic 2 Zoom and the Autel Evo are two of the best drones on the market. The build quality of these drones are exceptional, and so are the cameras. But which drone is the better buy? Hey everyone, Rocco here. Today, we're going to be taking a look at obviously as you can tell from that B-roll at the beginning, the Autel Evo and the Mavic 2 Zoom, and putting them to the test and comparing them and seeing which drone would be the better one to buy. So it's gotten actually pretty cold recently, so I've brought out the old Rocco's shirt from the restaurant I found with my name, coincidentally a while ago. And it actually keeps me nice and warm, so that's what I'll be wearing out today. And we'll be flying the drones. My friend Jacob is coming over to help me with this video, and I'm super excited to get to fly with him and compare the Autel Evo to the Mavic 2 Zoom, because they're both incredible drones, and I'm sure that there are many people who are interested in buying both. And hopefully this video will help you distinguish which one you want better. Alright, now we're going to go out and take a little flying test out in the local field. Let's go there.
Yeah, I hate being next to tall people.
Alright, so we're going to do a little outside test to see how the drones perform. It's a little bit windy today, so that will also show how the drones perform in moderate wind conditions. And so he has the Mavic 2 Zoom, I have the Autel Evo. We're just going to compare them, maybe do a speed test just for fun, put them up in the air, race each other. Whatever, you know, just testing the general how the drones perform and which works better for you when you're flying outdoors, and which one you might prefer if you are planning to buy either of these drones. So, without any further ado, let's get into flying the Autel Evo and the Mavic 2 Zoom. Alright, so an important thing is setup time. So we're going to be taking the drones and seeing which one can be set up faster. But from turning it on to getting ready to fly. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. This isn't a race, buddy. Low-key, I want to win. I want to win. I'm not. Gotta load up the app. I'm not even loaded in the app. Okay.
And done.
Oh, dude, that was. Okay, that's sketchy.
My bad.
I'm still going. Still going.
I might have forgot. Apparently, I need to update my drone too. But we're just gonna.
Oh, that's a problem with DJI updating. See, the Autel Evo doesn't require you to update.
We're just gonna pretend we didn't see that, alright?
I have to restart my controller because it was a glitch. My gosh. Okay, I'm having problems with the Evo right now. So I have. Okay,
you
so
another. That again?
A problem is no, it's fine. A problem that I have with my phone is that sometimes it doesn't immediately connect the cable, and it's a problem with Android. I don't think anyone's had the problem with iPhone, from what I can tell. But I'm connected all now. We had some problems with the gimbal that Tristan was using to film us go wonko, but I'm all in the app now. We're all good to fly. So I have no idea how long that took, but it's relatively fast for both. I think a bit faster for the DJI, and especially if you have the smart controller for the DJI, you can set up way faster. And his drone, the one key feature about his is that his can zoom. So right now he's going to zoom in on me. I'm gonna go up a bit. Guys, stay there. You're fine. You're ready. All right. So
Should I keep recording?
I'm just gonna orbit around you.
Okay.
The drones, they have basically the exact same speed settings. I believe the Mavic is advertised to go slightly faster, but we're also kind of competing to see whose drone can last longer in the air.
Oh, crap.
I'm assuming that yours is... Oh, you can see me. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be as slow
Transmission
as
is like the exact same on both of these drones. They can both go around the same distance. It's advertised as further with the Mavic, but honestly, if you're going to the full distance, you're breaking like the law, technically. So I wouldn't worry about that. You're gonna get great transmission on both of these drones. Another thing is, if you want to look up with the gimbal, the Evo can't do that. The Evo is stuck at 0 degrees as its maximum upwards rotation or pitch, and his can go up 30 degrees. Oh wow, that's a crisp shot, man. Whew, that is nice, man. And see, I think the focal length of the Mavic 2 Zoom when you're zoomed in is actually quite nice. And as you can see right here, the Mavic and my drone are both fighting the wind really hard. I'll put the video up on the screen, but it's about 13, 14 miles per hour wind right now. Hopefully my microphone should be getting rid of that, but right there, the Mavic, you can see it's like at an angle about 30 degrees on the, actually not 30, 15 degrees angle.
And I got him on like a bit of an angle too. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit, give you a bit of... I know this is...
Our obstacle sensors are tripping up right now.
Not mine.
Also, another thing, yours is the one that's beeping. Never mind, it's mine.
Sucker.
My sensors are quite sensitive.
You know what? I want to back up.
Now what we're gonna do is a speed test. So fly over there to that net, all the way over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna adjust my settings. But I think we're gonna put it on our maximum speed mode. Where is, okay. And so now the drones are...
Hey, what height are we doing it at?
Do it at 200.
Okay.
Okay, I am right above the
Oh,
net.
dude, I was thinking that pointer for your drone.
Yeah, we're about 7 miles away from an airport right now, so we got planes going in.
Alright.
But luckily, we're not doing illegal stuff. We're flying legally. Okay.
Can I turn on sport mode?
That's what we're gonna do. Face that way. Oh, you have it reversed.
Yeah.
Why do you have it reversed?
Because.
Okay. So now.
Sport mode activated, boys.
All right, I'm gonna go into ludicrous mode. Unfortunately, there isn't a button that can directly toggle ludicrous mode on the Evo, so that is also a downside for some people. But honestly, I don't really care. All right, so point towards this net.
What?
Point here. Point towards us.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Oh, the edge.
Oh, you're faster. You were way faster. Stop flexing on me. He's faster. We are also going like against the wind, so. Okay, so the Autel Evo and the Mavic 2 Zoom have very similar battery life. They both told us to land at about 5 minutes, and we could basically run it down to about 3 minutes until it started forcing us to land. I'm sure you can like get around that if you really need to get more out of your battery, but for just the Mavic and the Autel Evo, the battery is basically exactly the same. Transmission, exactly the same, because it's not really going to matter about transmission. Battery is a bit more important, but it's basically the same on both drones. However, the Mavic 2 Zoom is slightly faster than the Evo. So when we were doing a little race in ludicrous mode and sports mode, the Mavic overtook the Evo a bit. Speed obviously on the Evo is still pretty crazy. It can go 45 miles an hour maximum, and the Mavic 2 Zoom can go 40, I guess 48 then.
Yeah.
So it's not that much of a difference, and honestly, I don't really see an instance where you're going to need to go that fast unless you're just flying for fun. And yeah, both of these are great drones, really easy to use out in the wild like we are today. It's also very cold, and I want to go home.
Oh, plus side, if you have the Mavic 2 Zoom, this bottom part gets heated up really fast. You can use it as a hand warmer, just in case.
I could just take the Evo battery and
My batteries became hand warmer.
Hand warmer.
I'm wearing gloves.
The Evo is a bit heavier than the Mavic, Not by too much, but it is slightly heavier. So if you're trying to save on weight, then the Mavic would also be a better option. Overall, both drones perform very well, and now we're just going to go take a look at how they perform in terms of camera and video and compare them on my computer and see which footage is better. Obviously the Evo shoots in 4K at 60 frames per second, and the Mavic maximum is 4K at 30 FPS. So hopefully we'll see a bit of an upgrade in terms of the Evo's footage over the Mavic's footage, but then again, the Mavic does have that zoom, which is very nice in certain situations. Isn't that right, Jacob?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Get close without getting close.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Until you realize that you're zoomed in and you fly right into a tree.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not speaking from personal experience, but sounds like something you would do, Jacob.
Yeah, check out his earlier vlog.
Alright guys, let's take a look at what the drone can do. Okay, so another really good thing about the Mavic 2 Zoom is it has this. This is built-in storage. The drone has built-in storage. When he took his SD card out of the drone, he forgot to put it back in and it was in the drone, but when he put it back in, he forgot to make it so it actually, the video from the drone went to the SD card, so it didn't do that. Luckily, it has 8 gigs built in. The Autel Evo does not have that. So we were able to copy all the files, and they're right there now. So now we're going to compare them. And I thought for a minute there they were lost, and then I remembered, wait, the Mavic has internal storage. Although it's not that much, it just saved basically all the video from
It's
today.
clutch.
Yeah, it came in clutch. So yeah, now we're going to take a look at the video. And obviously there are different frame rates. I was shooting in 4K at 60 FPS on the Evo, and Mavic was shooting at 4K at 30. But the main distinguishing thing between the two drones is one has a zoom, one does not. So yeah. So when we flew the Mavic 2 Zoom and the Autel Evo, they're both basically very similar in the air and how they perform. Obviously the Evo isn't as aerodynamic as you can tell because the body isn't as like sleek and streamlined as the Mavics, but they're still both very fast drones, very fun to fly, and I think you're gonna enjoy either one. It's more about the performance of the cameras. That's basically what people would be drawn to with this drone. The Evo has an incredibly good video camera. The camera has 4K at 60 FPS. Obviously, the Mavic 2 lasts a bit longer with the battery. That I accidentally forgot to take myself out of ludicrous mode, so I was flying around like that for quite a while. But honestly, after that, there wasn't really too much deviation between the batteries of the drones. They both can fly advertised for around 30 minutes. It's more like 26, maybe 27 or 28 if you're lucky, but that's a long time in the air. I'm used to like 16 minutes with my Spark because I've only had the Evo for a few months, and it was a major upgrade. So if you have the DJI Spark or something like the Mavic Air, I would definitely say upgrade to either one of these. They're both fantastic options. Another thing that the Evo does lack is automatic flight mode, so like the orbit. It has orbit, it has like some of the basic ones, like the tracking and all that in the VR mode, which I think is on DJI as well. But if you want like the asteroid, the boomerang, or the globe thing, you have to do that manually. And honestly, that's not a big deal for me because I never used the flight modes on DJI drones. I think they suck. But for the average person, I think they're going to love using the flight modes on, say, the Mavic 2 Zoom. But then again, the beginner will probably not be buying a $1,500 drone. So the Evo just doesn't have as many flight modes as the DJI, but honestly, it's not a big deal for me because I fly manually. And when you take a look at the photos, the Evo and the Mavic 2 Zoom are both very sharp. I feel like a slight edge goes to the Mavic 2 Zoom in terms of quality though, but I think I like the color science of the Evo slightly better, not too much better, but it's also a personal preference, and you can adjust the colors in post, especially if you're using DaVinci Resolve, because the color editing suite in there is very, very good. So yeah, both drones are incredibly solid options to buy. Personally, I would say buy the Evo, but my friend Jacob would argue to buy the Mavic 2 Zoom, obviously, because that's the one he owns. So yeah, guys, both are incredibly solid options. I think the video quality on the Mavic is slightly inferior to the Evos, especially if you're in auto exposure mode. What we saw was when Jacob's drone was flying, the Mavic would underexpose significantly, and the Evo has slightly more dynamic range, but I was shooting in manual and I exposed for the ground, and I think the ground was slightly overexposed. Like, my phone screen is really dark, so I try to make it extremely bright, but that's also my fault for overexposing the ground, which also made the sky a bit overexposed. But generally, they both have the same, like, general dynamic range. I think the Evo's is slightly better, but if you're shooting in auto, you don't want to shoot an auto on any of these drones because it's going to try to expose to the wrong thing. Just always shoot in manual on a drone like this, and both drones will perform great. The Mavic has the zoom, which is kind of creepy, but if you like zooming, I think when we're doing the orbiting shots of he was orbiting around my Evo, it's harder to pan properly. But it was still a really nice shot because you could, if he panned for a few seconds, he was panning just right, and the Evo was staying in the frame, and the background was just streaking, and it looked really clean, really nice. Evo can do that too. Obviously, it has a very wide-angle lens, which I love it. I love wide-angle lenses. I have a wide-angle lens. I love wide angles. I love wide angles. I said that like 5 times. This is a wide angle. Not really, but kind of. But yeah, wide angle for me. I love that. Zoom. Pretty cool, but also kind of creepy. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're buying the drone and you don't want people to think you're a creep because you're zooming in. But both drones, very great. I personally don't like DJI as much because of their customer service, but you know, everyone has a different experience, and I'm sure if you buy the drone, you'll love it. So this is personally my personal opinion, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe this could help you decide if you were looking at the two of these drones. Both are solid options, and I think you'll enjoy either one of them. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
He dropped my lens cap like 50 times. He was just holding it in his hands. Drone. It's just... You are fired! Stop dropping things! Yeah, you're fired. You're fired. Get out of here.
These are gonna be your new camera.
She's better. She's better. When I let her fly my drone, she actually knew how to use the camera.